Have you been watching The Queen's Gambit? It's this super dope show that Netflix just released, and I'm on about episode 4 and already have some amazing takeaways, which are what I want to share with you today. Now, don't worry, I won't tell too much of the show, but the premise of the show is about a girl who unfortunately has to go to an orphanage due to her parents dying. And so she's in this orphanage, and while she's there, she runs across a gentleman who knows how to play chess really well. She begins to become obsessed with chess and basically uses her visualization and mindset to teach herself the skills of chess, which is so amazing because, as you guys know, I love anything mindset, anything visualization, because it's so powerful. Research says that Olympic athletes actually, throughout their coaching and training, they're taught to run their race before they actually even do it. And their body has a biochemical response as if it's happening. And what they find is that they can do it in their mind, they can actually do it in physical form, and it increases their success. So it's so cool to watch her teach herself chess in her head because, long story short, she becomes this amazing chess player. Okay, so I'm not too much further into the show and the ups and the downs and all of that, but it's so inspiring to watch that visualization process, which brings me to my first lesson, which is the importance of visualizing the success that we desire, the importance of visualizing what it is that we actually want to accomplish. A lot of times we feel like visualization is stupid because when we're growing up, we're taught that our imagination is bad, that it's childish. But visualization is actually one of the most important tools that you can have on your goal setting and goal reaching journey. So when you think about your goals, how can you begin to visualize them? Because if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And what I mean by that is if you can hold it up here, you can bring it into fruition in your reality. While the show does a phenomenal job of explaining the importance of visualization and really showcasing the power of it, that's not even the most shocking lesson. Recently, I was reading an article about Walter Tevis, who is the author of The Queen's Gambit. Really cool fact, he wrote this book 37 years ago. So 37 years ago, he had a vision that he wanted to birth into this world. And he did it. And maybe throughout this 37 years, it didn't show off as anything. He might have made a few sales. It might have been really cool. But here we are 37 years later, and he's become an international New York Times best-selling author. The book has now turned into a show on Netflix, which is like bringing people in. I'm seeing it on everyone's timeline online, and it's absolutely amazing. And the reason that this stood out so powerfully to me is because a lot of times when we set an intention, when we set a goal, when we have a vision for what it is we want, we have an idea of a timeline. And when that timeline doesn't happen the way that we want it to happen, we throw in the proverbial towel. We give up, we call it quits, and we're frustrated. We're ready to just get over it, right? We're disappointed and we feel like God failed us or let us down. But here's what I'm here to tell you. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, if you have a desire, it's not there in vain. There is a very real reason that God brought that into your life. There's a really important lesson behind it. And it's our job to be obedient, to be able to show up for it, because you never know how it's going to end. You never know how it's going to blow up. And here's what I do know, that our vision, our dreams, our desires, our passions, those things can showcase in the 11th hour, but we're too busy throwing in the towel at the second hour. We jump out of the race because it gets foggy and we can't see the finish line. And when we jump out, we don't even realize how close we were to the finish line and what blessing was on the other side. And so I'm here to tell you that no matter what you're working on, a book, a course, a business, a dream, a nonprofit organization, speaking engagements, whatever it may be, whatever you're working on, do not give up. Use this as a sign to keep pressing, because if that story didn't inspire you to know that your voice, your story, your dream, and your vision matters, I don't know what will. What this story taught me in total was the power of holding tight to the faith. There's a quote by Martin Luther King that says, faith is taking the first step even when we don't see the whole staircase. And a lot of times we don't see the next step in our journey to success. We don't see the next step in our process to going after our goals, but we have to trust that it's there, and we have to be willing to take those steps. We have to be willing to step out of our comfort zone. We have to be willing to risk and move past and beyond fear, knowing that what we desire and deserve is available for us. So that's the message that I wanted to encourage you with today. Hold tight to the faith. Know that what you desire is actually what you deserve as well, and it's not there in vain. And P.S., if you haven't watched Queen's Gambit, watch it, because I'd love to know what other takeaways and lessons you've gained. I can't wait to continue because I know there's a lot more.